Today is Saturday the 18th of July and we're beginning to look at the Celtic Saints and particularly today we're looking at St Gildas. St Gildas was a wise man, a British monk who lived in the 6th century. His dates are probably AD 500 to AD 570. When we read about Gildas, we read a lot in the histories that are slightly fictitious. They're written with a more of a flourish of the pen that is more comfortable to talk about dragons and about battles that may or may not have happened, talk about Arthur and Guinevere. I'm going to try and give you a very quick overview of his life though, by understanding that the writings we have, some of them are hagiography. That means less accurate history, but written with a theological point. Hagios means holy, graphia means writing. Some of the holy writing, some of the hagiography of the early years was a little bit inaccurate, but we need to have that understanding if we're going to understand the Celtic Saints. And we have two accounts of the life of Gildas, one in the 9th century by a monk and another in the 12th century. And it's that 12th century one that tells us about Arthur and Guinevere. Now let's go to what is more historic, which is Gildas's own writings. He wrote a 3-part sermon called On the Ruin of Britain, detailing the dire state of affairs in post-Roman Britain. And he drew heavily on the book of Revelations. When he read Revelations, he thought that some of the beasts and animals in Revelations were in fact British kings who were being defeated, and that God had a new understanding of what was happening in Britain. Now, although we can't agree with that interpretation, we can look again at the book of Revelations and wonder what we would make of it. I will read today's reading, Revelations chapter 3. To the angel of the church in Sardis write, These are the words of him who holds the 7 spirits of God and the 7 stars. I know your deeds. You have a reputation of being alive, but you are dead. Wake up and strengthen what remains and is about to die. For I've not found your deeds complete in the sight of God. Remember therefore what you have received and heard. Obey it and repent. If you do not wake up, I will come like a thief, and you will not know at what time I will come to you. These words are a warning to the early church, written way back in the 1st century. And now we have got Gildas writing in the 6th century, warning the British church. The gospel has only just come to Britain in any strong way and been received. And now that the Romans have gone, he is warning people. Can I just ask you to think how strong was the faith in Britain at this time? I'm amazed to hear that Gildas went to a theological college where there were 1,000 other students. He went to nearby Wales, to Llantwich Major, where he was taught under the famous Saint Iltich. From there, he then went on to preach the gospel in Ireland. He did travel to Rome for a brief period, and then he spent the last part of his life as a solitary monk on an island off the coast of Brittany. In those days, he was telling us to wake up and be aware that our faith might be taken over and destroyed. I think we can say the same message today, all those years later.